A woman named Rhea wakes up in a distant space station. She can't remember anything about her past. The place is very dark, so she finds a flashlight and starts looking at the place. The place is pretty much destroyed. She finds a dead body and a man is stabbed by the knife. She takes out the knife. She then goes to another room and finds another dead body of a crew member. She then goes to the control panel and reboot the system and power gets turned on. She then gets out of the space station and another dead body in a body bag outside. She goes outside to inspect the planet. She sees a shadowy figure. She tries to get its attention, but it's just her shadow, and a few minutes later it vanishes. She's having a headache and seeing weird things. She looks up at the sky and sees a white light moving. A few minutes later, she starts to choke as the outside air is very toxic. She crawls back to the space station and seals it. She's getting a vivid flashback of fighting with someone. She then remembers her cruise. She's talking with Clark and their captain named Kevin. Another crewmate named Addie enters the room. Davis entered with some food. They toast the food in the name of Brian, their orbital friend. They're talking about what they will say when they get out of this planet. Kevin thinks they will be soon able to go back, as he thinks they will find a viable life form on this planet, as it already has a functional atmosphere. They are pressuring Rhea for a speech. As she gives a pretty boring speech, we come to the present. Rhea finds a medical box. She finds medical patches and puts them on. She again felt some discomfort. She takes a shower and cleans herself. She then starts to find clues about what happened. In the cabin, she finds a notebook and inside her picture. She is trying to remember when she hears a sound outside. She goes to check and the system announces movement detected and level 1. She goes there and finds someone is entering the station in a spacesuit. She hides, and after the person enters, she attacks him and asks who he is. The person knows her and says he is Brian. He shows his crew number 7F. They're on the same crew. He is on orbital monitoring duty. Rhea starts to remember him. He says he came here after the distress call, where she says Clark has some kind of psychotic breakdown. She then tells him the whole situation and shows him the dead body. Brian asks if Clark has done this. She says she can't remember anything about the past, only some vivid images. Brian then goes somewhere and brings out a medbot. He turned it on and it started to scan her. He then tells her that they are part of a mission to find viable life outside Earth. Other missions have failed, and they're the last hope. They're sent to this planet, to which they call Ash, to find viable life. The machine starts to mend her wound. Brian says that his job in orbital is to maintain connection to home base. After the wound is mended, she asks if she will be able to get back her memory. But Brian says her technical memory should be intact, but he can't tell about her memory. Brian says despite her missing memory, she is still the same person she was before. He tells her to get some rest. After getting some rest, she starts to put the dead body in the bag and take them out of station, where he is telling Brian they should go and look for Clark. But Brian feels it's a bad idea. While taking out Addie's body, she gets a vision that she is killing him. She gets scared and goes inside, where Brian asks if she is okay. But she snaps and says to leave her alone. She then finds a scissor, which apparently she may have used to kill Ubby. She takes another medical path to calm her down. Later, she apologized to Brian for her behavior, when suddenly the siren turns with the announcement that oxygen level is dropping. They found a maintenance tunnel where the leak may have occurred. They take out a flamethrower and Rhea decides to enter the tunnel with it. Soon she finds a narrow lane she can't go through, so she takes out her space suit to go through there. She finds a patch is open, so she wields it with a flamethrower to shut it down. They now discuss what they should do next. They're also trying to figure out what may have happened to Clark. Rhea thinks it does not make sense, and they must find Clark and figure out what's happening. But Brian says they don't have time for this, as they already lost oxygen, and when the orbital lines with the planet, they must leave. Rhea is not convinced, but agrees to it. While she's taking a rest, she gets into a dream where she's sleeping when a robot in Sky wakes her up. She is checking out the place when she sees Kevin. She looked down, and it's a futuristic tunnel. As she looked into it, she remembers stabbing him. She wakes up. She goes and finds the robot in her dreams. She turned it on and found some visuals. They're all out for an expedition. They're searching for something and arrive there. It's a tunnel. The tunnels are used to create an artificial atmosphere on the planet. There are tons of tunnels like this on the planet. Some higher life forms may have created it, so there's a chance for viable life from this planet. Davis decided to throw a rock to see how long the tunnel is. But the tunnel starts to act weird and throws the rock back at Davis. killing him. All the tunnels start to emit weird light from them. When Brian enters the room, she demands to know why he didn't tell him about this despite knowing this. He replies he wasn't sure about it. The whole station gets out of the communication, and he didn't tell her about this because he knew she won't let it go. But now they must go to the orbital station and figure out from there what happened. But she reveals she must figure out what happened as she thinks she killed them. Brian is taken aback. Rhea says she doesn't know why she did it. When the patch stops working, she is having visions of killing them. That's why she can't leave, as they need to figure it out. But Brian says he can't trust her right now, and besides, they need to look for the bigger picture. They must inform others about what they found here, proof of a higher level of alien life. Rhea doesn't say anything and leaves. Later, Brian goes to his room and asks to get ready to leave. He asks if she has taken the medical patch. She says yes 30 minutes before, but to be safe, Brian puts another one on. After he leaves, she starts to feel sick and faints there. She's having a flashback of killing Addie. He seems to have taken over something and attacked her, so she with a scissor killed him. She wakes up and goes to tell Brian about this when she sees Clark in a spacesuit searching for something. And with the flamethrower, she enters the tunnel, where she finds Brian's dead body. When she tries to get out, she sees Clark and attacks her. She uses the flamethrower on her, but she dodges. She runs from there and falls. As she's about to get up, Clark comes there and viciously attacks her. She runs to the washroom, but she completely overpowers her. So she turns on a shower and puts the pipe in her spacesuit, and she gets drowned and dies there. She then takes her body and scans it with a medbot, but it shows she has died by drowning and there is no infection in her. She can't believe it. Announcement comes that the orbital lineup is now open. She takes out her body in a body bag and then goes toward the spaceship. She enters the ship and finds the door is broken. She turns the ship, but it's also broken. She goes back to the station thinking what she should do and takes a medical patch. She then takes out Brian's body and scans it with the medbot, and it shows that he has died 51 hours ago. She then, with the flamethrower, goes to search the place, where she sees the imposter Brian in front of him. She starts to have a seizure. She now understands that he is the infection. Imposter Brian says she will understand and put her hand into her wound. She then has a flashback. A parasite has taken over their system, destroying all communication with the orbital satellite. So Brian has come down to the station. They together are deciding their next phase. The parasite has taken over the system. It has been studying them for some time and shut them down at a precise moment. Brian says the next lineup with the orbital is 12 hours. They decided to pack the bag and leave the station. But Rhea says they must stay and study it. They sacrificed a lot to find a viable planet, and this is where they must stay to find more information. But they disagree and say protocol states they must leave, and they're going to do that. So Rhea decides to take a sample of the parasite when Addie comes, and she hides the sample in a container. But it starts to grow and breaks the container and attacks Addie. It gets inside of him. He has a seizure and changes completely and attacks Rhea. She manages to kill him when Clark and Kevin come to the room and stop her. Kevin goes to check Ubby, but he is still alive and attacks Kevin. Rhea comes to his rescue while Clark gets out from there. They both fight with Addie and Kevin, able to finally kill him. But the parasite gets out from his body and latches on Kevin. Kevin then changes and attacks Rhea. But Clark with a space suit comes to her rescue. She and Rhea try to leave, but Kevin attacks her. Brian has come out and sees Kevin is attacking Clark. Kevin sees him, and he runs from there into the tunnel. Kevin runs after him and catches him. He bashed his head, killing him. Rhea goes to help Clark. She tells her to leave alone. She must stay to take care of everything. Clark leaves the station. She then searches for Kevin. Kevin, in a normal voice, tells her to come out. She, hiding the knife, came out. But soon Kevin starts to change, and she stabs him. Kevin dies, and the parasite gets out of his body and gets inside into Rhea. Rhea, then having a seizure, decided to take poison. After taking it, she started to squirm. Now, at the present, the parasite alien is talking to her. It says that they created the planet and will not give them it. They saw in their memories that as a species, they are doomed to self-destruct. They have chosen her to join them, so there will be many. But Rhea says she won't let that happen. She then understands the Brian she saw is in her own imagination. The alarm turned on, informing that oxygen levels are critical. She then, with the medbot, scan herself. It shows the result foreign parasite detect, and if she wants to excise the parasite. She chose yes. The machine started to take it out. It takes out the parasite. She is now feeling relief, but the parasite latches into Brian's dead body. Brian starts to change and becomes a monstrous form. It attacks her. She attacks it with a screwdriver and starts to wear the spacesuit, but before he could wear it, the parasite gets up and attacks her again. She starts to fight with it and manages to get away from it. She finds the flamethrower and takes out some flammable gas. It started to grow tentacles and attack her with it, but she breaks open the gas and starts the flamethrower burning it. The whole place started to burn. As she gets out of the station, the whole station is burning down. She then goes to the spaceship and is now able to turn it on. She then drives it to the orbital station. This was a recap of the movie Ash 2025. Don't forget to check out our channel for more engaging recaps like this one. If you enjoyed this video, you'll love what's coming next, so stay tuned.